You can call it the Migos flow, but I am still gonna call it the Lord Infamous flow. I guess because I'm kind of old. What's up, everyone? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But right now, we're going to talk about this new album from Migos called Culture. It's their second studio album, and if you're not familiar with Migos, they're a trio out of Atlanta made up of Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset, and they are no strangers to making hits, man, because they had some monster hits with Versace, Fight Night, and also Look at My Dab, just to name a couple. But obviously, over the past month or so, it's really been Bad and Boujee that has taken the world by storm, partly due to Donald Glover actually shouting this song out at the Golden Globes, and that actually helped propel it to #1 on the Billboard charts, and it got the Migos featured on some late night talk shows that had previously turned them down. So I just think it's pretty cool how helping someone like that can go so far, man. It just goes to show you the love that they have in the Atlanta scene, at least right there between Migos and Donald Glover, because of course we saw the Migos on the show Atlanta, which was pretty dope, man. I can't wait for season 2 of that. But I digress. Coming back to Bad and Boujee, I actually really like this track quite a bit because it has this haunting, eerie, bassy banger, and Takeoff absolutely snaps on that opening verse, man. I love his flow on this track. He also gave us that raindrop drop top meme, so we got to show love for that. And in spite of that terrible little Uzi Vert verse, which is just one of the worst things I've ever heard with all that yeah, wait, or whatever that shit was, that was just absolutely terrible. But in spite of that, this is still a really, really dope track, and hopefully we get a remix with Takeoff on it. I believe that was something that they were actually discussing on a radio show recently, so that'd be good. And Migos are definitely one of these groups that people are split on, because I do see a lot of people, older people and hip-hop elitists, who say that they're ruining hip-hop, this isn't rap, this is garbage, and personally, I'm not one of those people. I do like Migos, I'm not a huge fan by any means, but I do understand their style and what they're doing, and I can appreciate it for what it is. So I think Bad and Boujee acts as a decent introduction to their sound, because on this album, you're still going to get those trap bangers with rapid-fire flows, auto-tuning, and of course, that kind of typical bottom-of-the-barrel content about trapping, drugs, girls, money, jewelry, you know how it goes. Just that very basic shit. You actually get that right away on the intro track Culture, so that lets you know what you're in for. And this one also features DJ Khaled just screaming his usual brand of nonsense all over it. So for me, that wasn't the best start to the album, but honestly, you don't go into a Migos album expecting great content or sample-based production or social commentary or anything like that. So if you're looking for that and you listen to this and you're disappointed, I mean, it is what it is. That'd be like walking in an ice cream parlor and being pissed off that they don't have sushi. It just wouldn't make sense. But in spite of those expectations and knowing what you're going to get with this album, I still found it to get a little bit redundant because the themes that you're getting, they get very repetitive. You just hear them over and over. And even the production is a little bit repetitive as well. Some of these beats just sound like I've already heard them a million times before and like they could have popped up on an old Migos project or a Gucci project or a 2 Chainz project. For example, the 3 songs Call Casting, Big on Big, and Brown Paper Bag, these 3 all have that very typical piano-led trap production that is just so damn familiar. So having these 3 tracks on here on this album, to me at first I was kind of getting them confused with each other. Not to say they sound exactly alike. I know there's going to be some smartasses saying, idiot, they don't even sound that much like, what are you talking about? But I think you know what I'm trying to say. Sonically, just the overall sound and the instrumentation is very familiar to me, and I've definitely heard those types of beats before many times. But of course, 2 of those are produced by Zaytoven, who works with a lot of trap artists. So you are going to hear some similarities to some of the other stuff that he's produced. But that just kind of stuck out to me, and I wish they had taken some slight chances on here, man. Maybe bringing some different themes, some concepts, some content, maybe some beats that are a bit different, just something. I'm not saying they have to go completely outside of their comfort zone, but this sound is just so common right now. It would have been nice that if they, as Migos, the people who a lot of people say started this shit, could have just really stepped it up a notch and done a bit more with it, in my opinion. But I'm not a trap guru, so you know what, if you're a huge trap fan, maybe you think they definitely stepped it up a notch with this one, but I've heard a lot of their other projects as well. I do think this one is a little bit better than what I've heard, but not that much better and really not that different. But in spite of all that, no matter how you slice it, you cannot deny the chemistry they have. I think as a trio, they play off each other pretty much perfectly, and they have a lot of dope ad-libs and a lot of fun, man. Just as you listen through this record, you can tell that they're having fun with it, and they bring a lot of energy to the game as well. So they did do their job as far as providing fun and catchy tracks. You got the song All Ass, which is just a stripper anthem. You got a song with Travis Scott called Kelly Price, where you get your auto croon fest. And Out Your Way is a track aimed at the ladies, so it's a bit softer, it's very wavy, and it has this hook from Quavo that is just infectious. But for me personally, the thing I like best about this is some of the flows, man. I already mentioned that Offset verse on Bad and Boujee. I just like the rhyme scheme that he's using on there. And Takeoff especially stole the show on some of these tracks, man. He absolutely snapped on Deads, and I think he saved that track because it was a bit of a dud due to the bland production that takes a long time to build up, a lackluster 2 Chainz verse, but then he comes in and he absolutely takes off, man, just like his name. He went all the way in. He dropped a Kurt Angle reference, which was dope as well. So I got love for what Takeoff was doing on this project, including on the single t-shirt, where he makes use of this very stuttery flow that's just kind of different and unique. So I don't think they're all out bad rappers. I'm not saying that at all. I kind of like their delivery, their flow, their cadence, some of the things that they're doing on this project. But again, it's just the beats are so familiar. The content paired up with that is just so common and familiar that there wasn't much about this project that really excited me, but I still did think that it's a pretty good project, man. I think if you're not a Migos fan, this isn't going to make you one, but it might be worth checking out because you will hear a couple of tracks that might be guilty pleasure for you, man. Just some shit to party with, turn up in the car with, or put on in the background. I think this album definitely works with those type of vibes. So check it out, man. It's not that bad. I give it a 3 out of 5. I would have gone higher if there was something a bit more different or unique, but that really wasn't there. So I think this is just good for what it is. If you're a Migos fan, I'm curious to hear what you think, because I could see it going 2 ways. You could be saying, man, I wish they would try something a little bit different, or you could be saying this is exactly what I wanted. So hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this project and Migos in general. And you know what else to do, man. All that good YouTube and social media stuff where you like the videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and of course, man, you got to subscribe to the channel and click like on that Facebook page. Help me get my numbers up. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.